Hour of clarity for exhausted people of our nation mired in toxic partisanship. Left versus right. Us versus them. While we pay to keep our politicians fighting, how do we, the people, rise up and solve the great challenges of our time? We do it by embracing freedom and liberty. There may be no such thing as a free lunch, but this hour is as close as it gets. Welcome to A Free Solution.
Hey, good afternoon. It is Tuesday, and I'm here at noon on WYSL in Rochester, WENY, ENI in Elmira, Corning, The Patriot, WACK in Newark, New York, the cool New York. Larry Sharp, also host of The Sharp Way Show. Reach out to me, 585-346-3000 to chat about a free solution here in Western New York. Look, there is a lot of stuff going on here in New York. Cuomo, our Lord and Master, His Majesty King Andrew Cuomo II, oh hail the King, is under fire. I've had him under fire for about 4 years now already, but no one paid attention to me. But now he's under fire. And I know people outside of New York are thinking, this could be it for him. This could be the end. This might be the end of Cuomo. And there's a lot of people in New York who really hope that's true. Sadly, I don't think it is. I just don't. I could be wrong, but I don't. There are two things that are starting to happen right now. And that is perhaps an actual federal investigation and the bill to remove his special executive powers. Those are the two things that are happening now. Do you really think that any investigation is going to do anything to him? If it's in any way state level, he's just going to get rid of it. Remember, he got rid of the Moreland Commission? He created a commission to root out corruption. Sounds great. Oh my God, we'll root out corruption. Well done, Your Majesty. You are a glorious God King. Well done. Thank you for your sympathy for us. And then the Moreland Commission says, why don't we start looking at you, Your Majesty? He went, Moreland Commission? Terrible idea. Away with you. And he destroyed the Moreland Commission. And that was fine. And he still got reelected. So it's not like that's a big deal for him. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, how harsh is this investigation going to be? You're now investigating someone who used to be a prosecutor. This is his world. He knows this better than anybody. He's going to say nothing that will get him in trouble. Nothing. Why do you think he won't say sorry? That would mean he's responsible for something. The only thing he's admitted to is literally his words. No, I'm not using his words. I'm sorry. I'm paraphrasing what his words said. I really should have beat up the liars. That's what he's saying. You know, my mistake was not beating up the liars. That was my mistake. They're all liars. I should have fought the haters. See, that's my problem. I take responsibility for that. Someone as awesome as I am, has haters, and I should have fought the haters. That was his response. Okay, savvy. So is it really going to go that far? You might say, well, Larry, what about the special executive powers? They'll get him on that. They might. They're going to expire April 30th anyway. So they might just say, we'll show him and we'll get rid of him a month early. That'll burn him. No. Even if they get rid of his special executive powers, and that might happen. That's a possibility. He still runs the state with an iron fist. How does that change anything? How does it change anything? Nothing. He's still going to do what he wants, and the assembly will still do nothing. It's what they're going to do. It's what they've been doing for 10 years. So it's not like all the executive powers did was it made him do it faster and made it law faster. That's it. but he's been doing this stuff for 10 years. It's not changing. So they might do that, but it'll be symbolic, only symbolic. And if it's just symbolic, so what? Doesn't change anything. Have you heard of a decent plan or an idea coming from the Republicans? No. They put out press releases. So did I. My press releases actually had solutions. Yeah, free solutions. Name of the show. Yeah, mine had solutions. But the Republicans came out and theirs was Cuomo bad. Cuomo bad. For a party that literally had to deal with Trump bad for 4 years, Orange Man bad for 4 years, being beat up by the left, you would think they would change and not do the same thing to Cuomo and just go, King bad, King bad. But that's what I keep seeing from the statewide party. Just saying, King bad. We know the king is bad. We've known for years. That's not new. That's not an answer. That's not a solution. That's crying. That's whining. I get it. He makes you want to cry and whine. Me too. I cry and whine too. I have a terrible king. Yes, I cry and whine. And I create solutions and answers and policies to make things better. It's the and part that I'm very disappointed in the statewide Republican Party. It's not doing that. Some of the local guys and gals are. Some are. But as a whole, we're going to get rid of him. No, you're not. No, you're not. That's a fantasy. It's a fantasy you've been telling this state for 18 years. And you're going to solve this and then Republican Party is going to grow and take over the state. That hasn't been true in a decade, maybe a bit more, and still isn't true. You're not going to move the people in the middle to come to Republicans and or Republicans who've given up to actually vote for you if you don't have an actual plan. What I'm seeing in this state, and sadly in some cases across the country, depending upon where you go, is two parties. The Democratic Party, which is the party of bad ideas, and the Republican Party, which is the party of no ideas. This is not a win, guys. No matter how you slice it, it's not a win. And I'm talking about New York State, where we have one-party rule. And they got tons of ideas. They're all terrible, but they're ideas. And if you're saying to yourself, I want to change something, if you're not politically active, and you're just looking for change or something to get better, and you're not paying deep attention, and the Republicans are yelling, Cuomo bad, and Cuomo saying, I've got this plan that will make things nice, even though it never works. His stuff always makes things worse. But if you're not paying attention, what do? Guess I'll vote Democrat. They got a plan. We're facing that right now in New York. And what bothers me is Cuomo is weak right now. That's true. He is weak right now. And there's no one who's paying attention enough to where we can actually strike and actually hurt him. He's weak now. The attack that will be upon him, in my view, and I hope I'm wrong. You have no idea how much I hope next month you will point your finger at me and going, Larry, you were wrong. Ha, ha, ha. I will happily be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't see it. I see the same old, we're going to get him and we'll teach him a lesson, and some righteousness concept of trying to raise money so that people will give money for some lawsuit or something or whatever, and then nothing will happen. And 2022 comes along and he slides right back into office again. And the Republican Party goes back to, we'll get him next time. We'll teach him a lesson. No, you won't. If you don't have actual plans to fix this state, more people are going to leave. He's going to hold on to this state until there's nothing left of it. And he can move on to the next. He can suck everything out of the state and then move on to the next. I am not happy about this. I'm trying to give us solutions and talk in a way that gets people to see if you have an actual plan, then people will support you. They will vote for you. There are two types of people that we have to get Cuomo out. One, Republicans who've given up and don't vote anymore. And some of you know what I'm talking about. There are parts of upstate New York, particularly, where only 1 in 6 eligible voters vote. The rest have given up. They're like, why bother? Nothing changes. Who cares? They're waiting to pack up and leave. They can't wait till their elderly parent passes away, or their kids out of high school, or, they get their pension, they retire. Any of those things happen, they're gone. They're in Arizona, Florida, or wherever, North Carolina. They pack up and leave. They've given up. And the person who's not a hardcore Cuomo supporter, who's just supporting who they think is going to do the best for them, we can get those people and we can make real change. That is a free solution. Absolutely. Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution. Give me a call, 585-346-3000. Back after the break.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
When you've been seriously injured in a car crash, you need a lawyer who knows how to beat the big insurance companies. Call me and I'll take them on so you can focus on your health and family.
Car crash, call Salino. Salino, call Salino. 888-2020.
Main Street, Rochester. A message from the National Police Association. It used to be that any able-bodied person would offer to assist a police officer in danger. Now, passers-by are more likely to take a video. There's a better use for your phone when an officer's in trouble. Call 911. Tell the operator where you are and what you see. Then, start your video to provide evidence later. To learn more about how you can assist law enforcement, visit nationalpolice.org. That's nationalpolice.org.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to Simple Tech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that Simple Tech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at Simple Tech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at Simple Tech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
A free solution.
Hey, everybody. So happy to have you back here. Larry Sharp, host of The Sharp Way Show. Please follow me on Facebook or YouTube on The Sharp Way. I'd love to. But not just that. If you like this show, you think it's cool, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you get the super cool Kevin Wilson. Yes, you want that? Follow A Free Solution on Facebook and YouTube, and you get us 5 days a week. Come on. You can't beat that. But I'm here right now, WYSL, Rochester, New York, WENY, ENI, Elmira and Corning, The Patriot, and WACK in Newark, New York, 585-346-3000. I want to grab some comments from the interwebs. Does that sound cool? No, sounds dumb, doesn't it? I'll grab a couple of those and respond right now. Craig says, God did it. King Andrew II, praise be unto him. And it's funny, but it's true. This goes back to who's accountable. And he won't say that he's accountable. This is why I think the investigation is going to fail. Whatever you might think of His Majesty, and clearly I'm not a fan, it doesn't mean you don't respect his savviness. To do that, to underestimate your enemy, is a mistake. And, while Craig is joking, it's still true. I mean, he's going to blame everybody. It's an act of God, right? It's not him. This is a savvy politician. That's how he's able to do what he does. We can't underestimate him. Doing that would be a mistake. I'm totally with you, Craig. I agree completely. So let me keep going here. Logic says another mistake Cuomo made was writing that book about how great his leadership was. Giving yourself a pat on the back. Larry, do you think there's any possible way to remove Cuomo? I don't think there's any way of removing Cuomo. The book, maybe. It would only be if the book said something that was literally not true. If it's an opinion or how cool he is, it's an opinion. He's not going to go to jail or be punished for that. I mean, he might be punished socially, but there's going to be no actual punishment. Unless he says that was an actual lie that could be used against him in some way. But the odds are he will say it was an editor or his ghostwriter. He'll throw someone else under the bus. That's what he does. He's very good at throwing his friends on the bus. That's why many of them have gone to jail in New York State, but not him. So even if that happens, I think he'll throw them under the bus. I know this will make some of you angry. I'm just going to tell you my opinion. I think there is absolutely no way to remove Cuomo via an impeachment process. The only way is to vote him out. I don't see any other way. He runs the state with an iron fist. Most of the people are afraid of him. You saw what he did to the Assemblyman Kim. Was that his name? Kim? I think that's right. Out of New York City. The second he said something, Cuomo hammered him so bad, and that guy didn't even get to go on CNN. He could only go on Fox. CNN wouldn't even put him on. Only Fox put him on. Not that I'm against him being on Fox, but if you watch Fox News, you already hate Cuomo. There's no new person that watches Fox and goes, oh, I still love Cuomo. Kim said something. Now I hate him. That didn't happen. Now, put him on CNN, MSNBC. Maybe. Maybe someone who's thinking iffy might go, maybe this guy's a bad guy. So I think if you see how the media also treated or is treating this, CNN and MSNBC aren't even touching this. Fox is all over it. But the people who watch Fox already hate Cuomo. So it doesn't do anything except reinforce the people who don't like him. So I don't think so. That's my view. Again, guys, I know I'm being kind of Debbie Downer. I apologize for that. I don't like to be Debbie Downer, but I want to be realistic in my opinions. And I'm sometimes wrong, but I'm most of the time right. It's true. Some of you get mad when I say that, but I am most of the time right. I'm probably right on this one. If I'm wrong, I'm happy to be wrong. I'll come back and say, Logic, you were right. I was totally wrong. So Brian says, you should have been governor. Run again. I'll vote again. Thank you, brother. I agree. I should have been governor. Yes. Sadly, about too many the New Yorkers did not think that was true. I wish they did. So yes. King Andrew bad now. Yeah. Paula, while that may feel good, and I think if you're a Democrat, Orange Man bad feels good, right? If you're a Democrat and you're yelling about how evil Trump is, I'm sure that feels good. It's just not effective, right? It's not effective in making change. It's not effective in getting people to believe in you. It doesn't work. You've got to have some kind of idea. And sadly, with the Democrats, their ideas are bad. They're heavily about just spend more money, bigger programs. That's their whole answer. I've had people on my Shortway show, literally, I ask them questions about how to fix things, and the answer is always the same thing. More taxes, beat up the businesses, beat up, the rich people. That's always the answer. And when I push back and go, what happens when they move away and don't want to pay and take the jobs with them? They won't. We'll just keep punishing them. The beatings will continue until morale improves. And that doesn't work. So short term, does it feel good to yell Cuomo bad? It does. I like it too. It does feel good. It's just not effective. You also have to have an actual answer. So thank you for that, Paul. I appreciate that. So the R had solutions too. He stole yours, called him out on it. Literally, he took word for word. That's true. When I ran for governor, the Republican did take a bunch of my ideas, but I was okay with it if he just would have kept going. My worry, and this is the second part. And I know if you're a Republican and you're listening, you might be a little bothered by this. But I wear my libertarianism on my sleeve. You know what you're watching when you tuned in. You know what you're listening to when you tuned in. And the problem I had with the Republican candidate, he wasn't a bad guy at all. I don't know if you guys know who he was. He's the executive now for one of our counties. He's not a bad guy at all. He really isn't. If you meet him, he's a nice guy. He cares about his county. He wants the right thing. The problem is he didn't have any good policies. He was thrown into a meat grinder. He was thrown in as a sacrificial lamb. He could never win. And then once it was over, he just went home. He didn't keep going. When the election was over, I didn't just go home. I kept going. I'm still going because I actually want to fix this state. I'm one of those crazy people who actually loves this state. I'm teasing. A lot of New Yorkers love this state. Now, say it again. I'll keep saying it. New York State is an amazing state with every single thing you could possibly want in this state. I don't care what you like, what you're into, what you enjoy. It's in this state. And it's amazing. We love our state. We hate our government. You fix our government, and New York State is the closest thing to a paradise that you will find in this country. I'm not even joking. Beautiful state with amazing businesses, amazing forests, lakes, rivers, skiing, vacation, history, you name it. It's here. Broadway, sports, whatever's your thing in this state. And we are being crushed by our government. So, yeah. Anyway, we can fix it. I know we can. Yes. You have a better chance of taking on King Andrew than New York GOP. Well, any outsider does, me included, but any outsider. And that's the issue. You got to find an outsider. You got to find someone that Republicans will vote for, Democrats will vote for, and the people who have kind of given up will show up and go, whoa. This person's different. I'm believing it. I think that's the biggest issue right there. So, yeah, I think that's it. So let's see if I keep going here. We have to educate people on the destruction of all socialist Marxist politicians. This is an educational issue more than a political issue. A few econ classes in high school can change perception. I'm glad you brought up, Jay. I'm glad you brought up education. I don't think we want to destroy socialist Marxist politicians. I do think we want to educate our people so those types are dismissed. And there's a difference in there, right? And it's not just econ, it's also civics. And education's a big deal. The Department of Education nationally came down with some rules on testing. I'm going to cover that after the break. Larry Sharp, here on A Free Solution. Please give me a buzz or follow me on Facebook and YouTube, A Free Solution. 585-346-3000. Back after the break.
God bless America.
WYSL.
AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center tonight. Mostly cloudy skies, a bit breezy out there. Temps will stay in the 30s. Mild weather coming up on Wednesday with gusty wind at times, well into the 40s. Just a late day shower. That's a cold front. So back to some chillier weather Thursday in the low 30s. I'm Rich Cordelia, WYSL.
At Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Anthony Drive off Route 96 in Victor. They're helping you drive safe during winter weather and save big at the same time with 4x4 security.
Hey, Larry.
And Jeep quality and rush.
Since we're in the commercial break, I just got to tell you, I'm a Reagan Republican. However, I don't trust Tom Reed as far as I could throw him.
Lisa 2020 Jeep.
So you have my vote for sure.
For 36 months. Or a 2021 Jeep Compass Latitude 4x4 is $179.
And I haven't heard of anyone other than Tom Reed at this point, but I'm not sure he's the right answer.
America's iconic four-wheel drive brand. And Victor's got a great selection. $2,500 cash or trade and other conditions apply. Be sure to get full details from the dealer. Equipment and MSRP vary by model. We're here to fully serve Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram customers in Victor.
By the way, Bob Savage was commenting about how much he enjoys when you're on the air, and that's coming from a 54-year radio veteran who's been in so many major markets. It's not funny.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Because your future is worth it. MGM Associates Insurance. Proudly serving the region since 1984, MGM can meet your coverage needs, ranging from home, condo, and auto, all the way to specialized policies for business, workers' comp, to limo and taxi insurance, and coverage for tech professionals like IT specialists. They can also help lead you through the confusing maze in the new world of health insurance coverage and options. MGM Associates is large enough to serve you, but small enough to care, so you don't have to wait in line on some 800 number to get prompt personal attention. MGM Associates is the only winner of the National Best Practices Award 5 times in a row. MGM is proud to support veterans groups, including Heroes Home Advantage. For your personal, business, home, or professional insurance needs, put the experience of MGM Associates Insurance on your team. Locally and proudly owned at 1745 Penfield Road in Penfield. 381-7008 or mgminsure.com, an associate of Finger Lakes Fire and Casualty, Route 227 in Trumansburg, New York.
Strung up, strung out, all caught up in the love strings. Love strings. Tied up, tangled up, double knot, twist tie, wound up, slip tie, not tied down. No strings attached, string theory of love strings. Tongue-tied, half-blind, heel tripping, head spinning, heart racing. Love strings.
Show World, 3 locations.
Hey, Larry, we're not in the air yet.
Time for school, baby. Hey, money. Time for school.
Well, that was just a commercial. They had some jazzy music.
A different couch, a different floor. The backseat of a car. Over 2,000 Rochester school-age children are homeless. But now there is hope. The Open Door Mission Cold Water House for moms and their children. opendoormission.com/doves.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Contact Sharon Court Realty. If you're wondering what
All
your
right,
home
last
is worth in
spot.
today's market, the Sharon Q team is happy to provide you with that value and an overview of the current market trends in your area for free. If you're looking to buy or build your dream home, we have the knowledge and experience to guide you through the process. We have earned the trust and confidence of thousands of happy clients and would love to do the same for you. Visit SharonQ.com or call us today at 900-1111.
A free solution.
Hey guys, Larry Sharp back here on A Free Solution. I appreciate you giving me a chunk of your afternoon. WYSL, Rochester, New York, WENY, Elmira, according to Patriot, WACK. I keep saying that. ACK, Newark, New York. Reach out to me, 585-346-3000. Now, I think it was Jay, if not mistaken, brought up the idea of education. I think I misunderstood him. He wasn't talking about the destruction of the actual politicians. He might have one of those. But I think he was talking about the destruction that those politicians bring. So if I misunderstood, Jay, I apologize. But I want to talk about your point. It's a valid point. The idea that education is key. You're right. You are 100% correct. It's not just econ. It is econ, but it's also civics. And you might say, well, Larry, why don't we have econ and civics and things like that in high school? There's a big reason why. Standardized testing. Federally mandated standardized testing. That is a big reason. And you may go, Larry, why does that matter? Because so much of the federal funding and federal grants that come to schools are based upon standardized testing. And many states, New York State included, now judge how they give their state grants and their state money based upon standardized testing. So the cash comes in based upon standardized testing. Well, why is that a bad thing? Because standardized testing is English and math. That's what it is. It's not econ. It's not civics. It's not shop. It's not home ec. It's not any of those things. It's just those two. So it forces the school to get cash to focus on those subjects. If you notice, many private schools don't, not all, but many private schools don't focus as much on those two. Why? They're not relying upon federal funds. The standardized testing is only used for marketing for them, right? Look how good our kids do on tests. Come pay a check, for whatever thousands of dollars per year. But if they're not concerned about that, if it's a specialized school that's not worried about standardized testing and it prides itself on something else. For example, if you are, say, a Catholic school or something, and you're worried more about, say, college placement, or you're more worried about, say, having a religious background or education. If you're focused on that, you don't really care much about the standardized testing. A little bit. You're a public school, it's everything. It's everything. So if we were to end standardized testing, federal standardized testing, now, Jay, if you want to, you'd have some power to go into your local school and say, guys, how about some econ? How about some civics? Why don't we teach our kids about how the economy works, about how the government works? The amount of people, youngsters more than the older population, who can't even name the 3 branches of government is shocking. Like you wouldn't believe it. Like they go, well, like the president, like he runs everything, right? They just assume that whoever the president is basically the king, which in certain cases that's true. But anyway, that shouldn't be true. And they don't know basic economics. If they did, they wouldn't jump so quickly on the open socialist train. They wouldn't jump so quickly on it. I know a lot of people get angry at people who love socialism. I would look to what Jay's talking about. Many of those people actually don't know any better. Many people, not all, some know, and they are like, this is the answer, go do this. But there's a big chunk that just don't know any better. And if they were educated effectively, they would come our way. They just don't know. So thank you for that, Jay. I think that's a very important point. But what's happened recently? Why I brought this up. This was actually on my list. So, Jay, thank you for pushing me into this. Good segue. The Federal Department of Education has decided that we must take tests this year. We're not going to get out of the tests this year. You must take them. So now you're going to have kids who aren't getting a decent education, who are shocked, don't know, clueless. There are estimates of about 3 million kids in New York, in the country, who actually aren't going to school anymore. Literally just are done, aren't going anymore. All those kids have to now take a test. The federal government has decided we have to anyway. And the teachers' unions are against it. They're like, this isn't right. We don't want to do this. Why? Teachers' unions are actually saying these are unnecessarily stressful exams. Oh, it's not fair. They're not fair tests. Where were you last year and the year before and 30 years before? Now they're bad? Where you been? Why do they care now? Because tests also, which is not a part of what Jay was talking about, but it still affects them. That's how teachers are judged. Yeah. So now teachers are judged by those standardized tests. Yeah. And the kids aren't going to do well. And we're in an environment where you can't make a mistake. If you make a mistake, that's it. It's zero tolerance, cancel culture. We can't survive in that. So now when the teachers mess up, they're going to hammer the teachers. And they know that. They know that. They're like, we can't do that. It's not fair because you'll blame us and you'll hammer us. Yep, that's true. So finally, I've got teachers on my side. Yay. Terrible reason, but I got them on my side. For those of you who remember when I ran, I talked about a total revamp of our system that Jay would have given us these options. No more K through 12, K through 10. Yes, no more standardized testing until kids get into high school. Standardized testing when the kids are young is no indication of their success as they get older. And if you're a bad test taker, you are labeled the dumb kid. And if you're labeled the dumb kid, you will act out. That's how that works. That's how that works. It is a terrible idea to be having younger kids being stressed and punished with these tests. We have found that now we have more stressed kids, higher suicide rates, all upon tests that have no value whatsoever. Unfair way of judging schools, unfair way of grading teachers, unfair way of grading students. Instead, let's wait till they get into high school, take some of these tests, but the tests aren't whether you're smart or dumb or whatever they think you are. It's an aptitude test. What are you good at? What are you good at? Take that at 15, 16 years old, maybe 2 years in a row at 15 and 16. By then, you know how to take a test. You've taken enough of them. You're not stressed anymore. And it's not judging whether you're smart or dumb or whatever they think. It's judging on what you're good at. What do you enjoy? So now you're 16, 10th grade. You're done. Take a test. If you pass a basic New York State test, you pass that test, high school diploma. Done. Now you got 2 years left. Our Constitution in New York State says we must pay for all school grades 1 through 12. In New York State, education's a right. That's how that works in our state. Got to make a constitutional amendment to change that. So we got to pay for the last 2 years. Here's what we do. When I was a Marine, when I got out, I got the GI Bill. The GI Bill said, here's X thousands of dollars. You got 10 years to use it. Good luck. Go to college. Do the same thing with our kids. Here's $20,000. You got 5 years. Do what you want for your next 2 years. You want to go to a trade school for 2 years? Go. You want to go to a prep school because you want to become a doctor or a lawyer? Go. You want to go right away to a college, get a 2-year associate's degree? Go. You want to start a business? Go. You want to just get a job? You can function in society. Go get a job. Go. Go do it. What will that do? It'll give kids purpose. That's what it'll do. You give kids purpose, you will watch the violence go down, the suicide go down, the sadness go down, all of that go down. Our kids aren't being killed by drugs or guns or video games. Our kids are dying for 3 reasons: lack of purpose, lack of community, and loneliness. That is what's killing our children. Give them purpose at 16, 15 years old. Put them in the schools that they want to be in. Imagine if you now select your school at 16. Where's the bullying going to come from? It isn't. The kid who doesn't want to be in school isn't in school. The kid who wants to be in shop school is in that school. The kid who wants to be a plumber is being a plumber. The kid who wants to be a football player is being a football player. They're all going to where they want to go. They're choosing. Imagine if you're a teacher and your entire class wants to be there. The difference in discipline, the difference in learning. You can't go beat somebody up. I got to go do something. I have purpose. I got stuff to do. But Larry, 16-year-old kids will make mistakes. Yeah. Great. At 16. The price for failure at 16 is almost nothing. Now they're making mistakes at 26. That's expensive. That's expensive in time, money, energy, debt. Way expensive. You're going to make mistakes. Me too. You, everybody else. Make them at 16, not 26. Big difference. You'll also do something else. You'll begin to understand what it means to make decisions, to be responsible, to have your own money, to do what you want with your own money at 16, 17, 18. By the time you're 20-something, you're better with money. Jay, maybe you don't have to do econ classes because life taught you econ, right? Life taught you econ. Like many of us, life taught us econ. That's the way we deal with that issue. You can make a good system. That's a free solution. In fact, it's a cheaper solution. We drop about $20,000 per year per kid. With my plan, we only drop 10. We actually save money. That's a cheaper solution. Not free. That's cheaper. Man, we're rocking and rolling. I appreciate the time you're giving me, guys, really so much. Larry Sharp, host of the Sharp Way Show, here on A Free Solution. Please follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Back after the break.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your
When we come
website
back,
doesn't
I'm
match
gonna
your
play a
claims
Cuomo
or isn't
clip.
achieving your goals, give the professionals
welcome.
at
I'll
SimpleTech
let you know when you're
Innovations a
up.
call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Hi, my name is Ryan Bourne.
And I'm Danica Bourne.
And we're the owners of South Coast Tax. We would like to thank our Lord for protecting us from evil. Psalm 91 states, He is my refuge and my fortress, for He will rescue us from every trap and protect us from deadly disease.
South Coast Tax are Christian-based tax accountants and attorneys who specialize in releasing bank levies, wage garnishments, and filing complex tax returns. We are the leaders in acceptance of offers and compromise with awesome results.
We are also a small firm who will treat you like family and not just a number.
Call us today at 1-800-TAX-1176 for a free consultation, and we'll take the time to explain all of the programs that you qualify for in order to allow you a fresh start.
In John 8:36, so if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. And one way we can achieve that is by being debt-free. So let us help you today. Call us at 1-800-TAX-1176, and together we can help achieve this goal by putting the IRS tax debt behind you for good. Again, that number is 1-800-TAX-1176.
Your business relies on computers and technology to low unreliable networks, and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at SimpleTech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A-plus Better Business Bureau
Okay, so when we
rating.
come back, it's
Call
about
them
a 20
today for a free
second
consultation
soundbite.
at
It's the one where he's
585-200-3182.
arguing with the news anchor
That's
about the reopening of schools.
585-200-3182.
You're welcome.
Simple Tech Innovations.
A free solution.
What are you talking about? You're now going to override. We did it already. That's the law. An orange zone and a red zone. Follow the facts.
I'm still confused.
Well, then you're confused.
I'm confused, and
then I'll tell you what you mean.
Parents are still confused as well. The school.
No, they're not confused. Tomorrow. You're confused.
No, I think
read the law.
Confused as well.
Read the law, and you won't be confused.
Just read the law. I am the law. That's really what he's trying to say. Absolutely. Larry Sharp back here on A Free Solution. WYSL Rochester, WENY Elmira, according to Patriot, WACK Newark, New York. Yes, that's exactly how he feels. He is the law. Just read the law. No one's confused. Keep the schools closed. Even though everyone agrees schools are not super spreaders. Everyone agrees. But the problem is once you go down that road, this goes back to what I was talking about earlier about him. You can't back off. If you back off, then you admit you're wrong. So he has to double and triple down. Otherwise, he has to admit he's wrong. And when you are infallible, as he is, His Majesty is, how can you ever admit that you're wrong? So he goes right down that road and ensures, doubles down, triples down, keeps going. Absolutely. Let me grab a couple more comments from online if I could. From what I see online, Desiree says, a lot of people aren't happy about how the governor has been running things. They're just unsure of other options. That's where sharing info about libertarians comes in. Yes, they're unsure. So they do one or two things. They fall back to their old ideas, common, or they give up. And I think that's been really bad in New York recently. I know a lot of people don't like Trump. I get it. One thing Trump has done, whether you like him or not, is without question, he's motivated a lot of people to vote. And that's a good thing, right? I know a lot of people say, well, you only want people to vote for you. No, I want them to vote for me. I want them to vote Libertarian. I want you all to vote Libertarian. But I also want you to vote because if you check out, I can never get you to vote Libertarian. But if you're active and you're paying attention and you're voting, I got a shot. So I actually do want more people to vote, even if they're not voting Libertarian, because then I have a chance of getting you to vote my way. But if you've checked out, I got nothing. So I am one of those crazy people. I want to make sure everybody's voting to the best of their ability. I would like that. Now, I think, is that Marialina disagrees. He says you have to go back to a soft patriarchy and take voting rights from a certain group. Look, I get your concern. I do. I would rather follow Jay's route. Let's follow Jay's route. Let's not take voting rights away. Let's better educate our voting population. How about that? I'm going to go with that. I'd rather go Jay's route than your route. I get your worry and concern. It's valid. I like Jay's idea better. Let's go with him. So, yes. With Democrats jumping ship on Cuomo, John says, is it safe to say he's in trouble? Will the investigation be compromised? I don't think there is any chance of him actually being in trouble. I don't. Logic agrees. He says, I agree, Larry. I don't think we'll ever get rid of him. We might. But again, we require the outsider. That's the issue. That is the issue. We have to have the outsider. Paul asks, will the New York Democratic Party turn on him in the foreseeable future? No. He is too powerful, and he rules this state with an iron fist. I have met many elected officials that have crossed this state, and I tell a story often because it works. Someone once told me when they were describing who he is, they said, he is when the henchman becomes the boss. And no one's ever told me, no, that's not true. They're like, yeah, or whatever. No one goes, no. No one says that, ever. I mean, beat up Kim. Beating him up. So it's terrible. So Craig says, it was the same with Bobolinsky. Do I even remember that one? And Ukraine Gate. Oh, yes. Nobody would talk to him but Tucker Carlson. Yeah, Fox News will often take on the anti-Democrat, story, whatever that story is, very often. And good for Fox News, but it doesn't turn anyone's mind. The person who's watching Fox News already feels that way. Doesn't change anything. We need both of the major ones, Fox and CNN, to both pick up similar stories. And it's rare they do. It just really is rare that they do. I really wish it wasn't that way. So Jake says, I've been saying this to my friends, all this evidence on Cuomo, and nothing was done about it. I don't think nothing, Jake. I think something symbolic will be done. It'll be, see, we did something. We got them. Everything right now is symbolic. They're not even trying to win this war. One of the reasons why I did as well as I did, which of course I lost, they got my butt kicked. But when you consider the party I was running with, Libertarian Party, which usually doesn't even get 20,000 votes in the entire state, never has that ballot access ever. Actually, to get 2% of the vote and to get ballot access was an amazing achievement in that small pond. A loss is still a loss, but it's relative. Why did I do better? Because I was actually trying to win. I was trying my best to win. You can't say that about the others. They're not even trying. They're trying to get a small smack. See, I got them. They want to keep their power. That's what they're looking at. It's really, it's not, it'll be symbolic. That's what it will be. It will be symbolic. Yes. So, Larry, you were the only candidate running that I felt actually cared and listened to upstate New York. That's true. I covered every single county, and I still do. I am there all the time. I don't stop. And this is one of the reasons why I made my K through 10, Jake. There are lots of counties, particularly in upstate New York, where farming really matters. It's important. It's part of their culture. It's a lot of the people are trying to have family farms, things like that. Hardly true at all in New York City, but very common in parts upstate New York. Why is our education the same? Why is education the same? The people in the area don't care about the same things. They don't. So I'm about people being happy and satisfied in their life, pursuing things that they care about. America was supposed to be about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's gone. I'd like to make that a thing. Let's make that a thing again, right? I would like that to be a thing. And if you think farming is what's going to motivate you and agriculture is the thing that excites you and you want to do that, good. Go learn that. Whatever's going to make you happy. I don't care if you go to college or not. I want you to go where you want to go. I want you to be happy when you can be happy. And that's my entire plan for our education system. Education shouldn't be about necessarily making you smarter. It's nice. Or learning physics. That's nice. But I wanted to set you up for happiness. That's what matters. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Guys, thank you so much for giving me your afternoon.